So people want to know where a lot of our darkness comes from. And I have one theory about one, well, just a theory. So I was watching a video one day about this kid. He was physically disabled. He wasn't up to full potential of a human being. And he ended up murdering this old woman across the street from him. And even he said, well, killing isn't as easy as I thought. And that's because we like to think things are easier in our minds just because we like to think things are easier. And anytime we think it's going to be easy and we go into it, when it is easy, we're like, wow, we wish everything was this easy. And when it's not, it's like, man, I never want to do that again. But the more we do it, the more we get strengthened. And eventually we say, well, I can't believe this was ever hard. And so I was listening to this kid during his interview and I'm thinking a lot of his evil did not come from being a human being. Not necessarily. It was because he was intelligent and he was disabled and he was probably felt like a burden. He felt like he was an inconvenience because he couldn't do everything for himself. And an intelligent, you know, uh, not it's like a different kind of intelligence. So an intelligence where your IQ number doesn't meet the potential you feel inside. So that's why experience is an important thing in life because we don't know what our potential is until we try it. You can turn on a machine, but you don't know if that power is connected all the way through. So the potential stops wherever the problem is, and then once you fix that problem, well, the potential goes through the entire machine and fires it up, right? So it's a very strange aspect of the human brain that we're able to determine that our potential is not being used enough, being used too much, that we don't fit in that place, and so I thought, this kid wanted to prove, at least to himself, that he was able to do things that other people wouldn't believe he was capable of doing. And the mind tends to go to dark places when I believe a lot of times when our potential feels stuck, kind of like a fuse box, when too much potential goes through, and not enough resistance, then it overrides the resistance and boom, you got an explosion, right? And that's kind of like what it is in us, but them explosions are usually quieter. They'll lead up to something, or the person will get impulsive before their potential is known, and they screw it up for themselves. They go to prison, and they tend to feel their potential build up while sitting still because they're not able to even go to a grocery store when they're in jail. So their potential is becoming, I believe, kind of erratic, or it leads to depression or some, whatever. And like our darkness, it just seems like it's always a potential path. It's not always learned through another human being. It's that we want to prove that our IQ number, our low IQ number, is not the billboard it seems to be. That's just there for show. But our potential says we're useful in some area, but we don't know where. So it's very strange how this happens in our darkness. Once in that place, especially if you feel like a burden or a inconvenience, your darkness is going to build. It's going to want to prove, and that's why a lot of times it seems like people are trying to get validation is because they're trying to kind of quell their darkness without overextending themselves. Make sense?